Welcome to Wing and Wolf Podcast. This is the podcast where we're going to keep it real and raw. We're going to get down to the nitty gritty, talking about everything that everyone's so scared to say. We're going to bring them onto the table to interview them about religion, about politics, about eating organic, living off the grid, the masculine, the feminine, their needs, their wants, what is lacking in today's society, this dating world. How do we create that tribe mentality again to get our families back together, to protect our children? We are going to talk about everything. We're going to travel. We're going to have some fun on this show. So let's get to it. Wing and Will Podcast. Let's rock and roll. Your host, Elizabeth Mooney. Welcome to the Wing and Wolf Podcast. I'm your host, Elizabeth Mooney, and I have two fabulous friends here in Nashville, Chazz and Justin. They're musicians here. They're my good friends, and I want them on the podcast to tell their stories and their experience in Nashville because they have some experiences. Chazz, let's start with you. Tell everyone who you are, where you're from, and
Chazz,
start in Nashville.
I'm originally from Michigan, and I've been here since 1993. I left for about 2 years in the middle of that, and been back here since 98. And music's in my blood. So.
You can't stay away from Nashville.
Yeah. I moved here. It was my vacations place. I come here in 92. I thought, man, this is the best place on earth. I still think it's the best place on earth.
It is cool. You know, I just tried getting away, and somehow I'm coming back again full time.
It's addictive.
Yeah, it is. I think as musicians and as a dancer, music is in our blood and our soul. So for me, I love that I step out of my studio and I hear all the honky tonks going on and the music, and it's just like I can't picture being anywhere else.
You can't go anywhere else and find what you find here.
No.
Not at all.
What about you, Justin?
Well, I'm Justin Walden. I'm from East Tennessee, and I've been here for 7 years. And yeah, just doing the music thing. I play fiddle, guitar, banjo, mandolin. My family and I grew up playing bluegrass. So I had a bluegrass band with them for 7 years throughout high school, and
you were raised rowdy.
I was shameless promo. You see it, Kurt Ozan. There you go, raised rowdy. Yeah, that's also another podcast. but, yeah, that's not the one we're on today. But, yeah.
So then, you obviously came to Nashville to pursue your music career. So tell everyone, Chazz, because you have a lot of stories. He told me, he's like, we don't have enough time in this podcast for everything. So to tell everyone your vision, your goal, and, you know, what you kind of been through, where you're at now, just your experience.
When I first came here with these big old stars in my eyes. Everybody back home said, you need to go to Nashville, and I didn't. So when I got here, I was like, oh no, what am I doing here? Because I was a very small guppy in a big old ocean, you know, compared to where I was back home. But there was an aura around Nashville.
Mm-hmm.
And in Printer's Alley, you could actually feel the spirit of Hank Williams and Patsy Cline and all
Mm-hmm.
this. It was there. The country music spirit was still there. You know?
Oh, that's beautiful.
There were 7 clubs on Broadway at the time, between 4th and 5th.
Mm-hmm.
There was no Legends. There was no stage. There was the Wheel and Maggie McGee's, the Turf, Music City,
Mm-hmm.
and then Roberts and the Wagon Burner and Tootsie's. That's all that was down there.
Wow. And now what year is this?
It was in 1993.
Wow. And I'm sure a lot of you listening, now you know it's a little bit different now.
Oh, it's a whole lot different.
you know, I was born in 92.
My youngest son.
I just thought I'd throw that out there.
Chazz is like, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. You know what? I'm very blessed
Mm-hmm.
to be at my age and to be what I have been through what I put my wife through and my children through, to be able to look this good at 52, man, I'm gonna roll with it as long as I can.
Yeah.
You know, I still have all my hair, all my teeth. And surprisingly, I can still have my teeth. I mean, there's quite a few bar balls back in the day.
So, you mainly sing, right?
Yeah, I mainly sing. Do some writing.
Yeah.
You know, but,
Do you write, Justin?
I do.
You do too.
Yep.
when I moved here, though, when I first came here, it was a vacation. But in every club was absolute greatness. And they were dive bars. There wasn't no ritzy clubs like there are down there right now.
Right.
I mean, the biggest club in town was Roberts, and it was dark all the time in there. But BR549 was playing there, and then yet there'd be a line around the corner past the Ryman up the hill to get in to Roberts to see BR549.
Wow.
Yeah.
And now, Justin, you play currently on Broadway.
A little bit, yeah. Yeah, the last 4 years I've been playing with Boys in the Band. It's the Alabama tribute show. So I've been playing fiddle, guitar, and so I'm doing Jeff Cook's part. Jeff Cook was Alabama's fiddle/guitar player.
Awesome.
So that's the gig that
one of the podcasts, I have my Alabama shirt.
Yeah, I noticed that. I was talking well,
should have wore that one.
Yeah.
So yeah, I actually just saw Justin play Sunday night.
Down at Tootsie's.
Tootsie's, yeah. I popped in. I'm never on Broadway, but I was like, you were playing a couple other friends, so I was like, let me just see everyone. And
yeah, just fiddling away down there.
Yeah, because I used to teach at Lucky Bastards every Thursday and Sunday when I first moved here, so I really got to meet everyone there, and then everyone there comes here to Music Valley to hang out. So
that's where I met Justin, was at Lucky Bastard.
Oh, okay.
I just happened to be playing a gig.
Yeah, that's right.
I had a steady gig there for a little bit, but I'm very old school, and my old school ways didn't quite fit their
ways.
Their common sensual ways. They had no common sense. It was kind of crazy, you know. So I don't know. Being the sound guy didn't we didn't really like it.
So talking about Chazz and his brawls and everything before we started. You guys can't see it, but I was telling them how I was driving. I was a passenger in a car, and my friend was driving. I was doing my eyeliner, and he hit a bump, and my eye was completely red. And I was kind of, I'm a little bit of a hypochondriac with things. So I'm like, have you guys ever scratched the white part because it's really red? And Chazz was like, yeah. I got into a few fights, and what'd you say?
I got to a brawl with 15 guys, me and my stepdad. I was about 20, 21, 22.
He's like, you'll be fine.
Yeah, it'll heal.
Yeah.
And that
so
was years ago.
Hey, you know what? Today, for me, I'm grateful that I got here. There was a time I wasn't going to be here.
What have you gone through this journey of coming to Nashville where you are now? What are some tribulations and obstacles?
Alcoholism, drug addiction.
And that's so easy to fall into that here, I could see.
Marital affairs. But all live in country music. I mean, for me, I think country music is something that has to be lived and experienced in order to be able to deliver the story.
To feel and sing about it.
If it's not, you can't feel it and haven't felt it, there's no way that they're going to feel how you can't deliver it to them.
Right.
And so, and I get that from my heroes, Waylon and Merle, they didn't. So, like, turns out that you're a liability to record labels if you do that today. So they don't. So I try to encourage today more than anything for young artists when they come to town. What is their goal for here? What did they come here for? Did they come here just to play on stage and be a jukebox? Or did they come here to be an artist and to be remembered? You know?
That's good.
And so if that's the case, my suggestion is if you want to drink, wait till after you're done playing. Because everybody in this town who comes to see you, somebody comes to your show, they come to see you, 150% of you. And you can't give that to them if you've been drinking or whatever. And record labels will not look at you whatsoever. Your liability. They're not going. Why would they want to put $1 million behind something that's going to flop?
Yeah.
You know? So it's very much encouraging.
Yeah, it's a very good advice.
They
You
do.
are your brand.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you want to drink, I mean, me back in my day, I went over the top. I didn't like the drunk feeling, so I got into some other extracurricular activities, and you know, I'm pretty much I'm an outlaw. I've been in some trouble, but it's all experience to get here. I had to go through everything I went through to get to right here.
And where are you now?
On the verge of opening a full-blown booking agency, artist development, and artist management, with a record label, a new record label as well, that we're going to combine the two and put talent out there that wants to be for the listening ear. Because a lot of people here come to Nashville, they don't pay attention to who's playing. Most of them, they've turned it into a party town.
Right.
They don't even remember who they sang by the time they get back home.
Right.
I think that's a song, right? Party Town.
Yeah, really. And it's just I want people to be able to hear real country music. And Zach Top.
Oh, he's
Zach Top
great.
He's going to bring it right back.
He's great. Zach Top.
And he's nominated for new male vocalist of the year.
Yeah. His music.
He deserves it.
So now you have this booking agency, right?
Yeah, we're putting it
You're putting it together to help future artists to come in. So you've been in the scene for a while. So you've seen the nitty, the gritty, everything about it, the ins, the outs, how it affected you. The advice is to basically have some discipline if you really want this to represent your brand. And if you want to have fun, wait till you're done. And you are sober, right?
13 years.
Yeah. And that's awesome.
Yep. No, we married 27 years.
Wow.
And that's only by God's grace.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff that's happened in my 13 years.
See, I got chills.
Yeah.
That's good.
And so my wife and I recently we overcame a divorce that almost happened, and it didn't. And our marriage is better today than it was the first 25 years.
Yeah, because you both chose to stick with it.
We choose each other today.
Yeah.
We choose each other today.
That's what a relationship is.
And serve one another each day. I've learned, getting close to God is a big thing. And he doesn't expect perfection, but he does encourage you to try it, because if you don't try it, you're not going to experience what could come.
Yeah. And I love that you just said that, because a lot of my other podcasts and my episodes, I'm talking about how just surrendering to God and to work on yourself and to align. And this is wonderful. So now you have all the people talking about like what it is to be in a relationship, the ups and downs, the ins and outs. Now you just heard from Chazz that there was a lot going on, and they're together still because they chose one another with God as a driving force to build that solid foundation.
He's the center of it today. Total center of it today.
Yeah, so that's beautiful.
I tell my sponsees, I'm like, because there's some, the greatest thing about being a part of a certain program, there's no requirement to desire. It's the only requirement is a desire to stop drinking. So there's no need to believe. You don't have to believe in anything. Just believe in a power greater than yourself.
Right.
And some people, I'm like, look, how about if you look like it was like this? Say you just believe what I'm telling you, and you get there, you find out I'm wrong, and everything's okay. I said, but if you don't believe and don't try it, and you find out and get there and you find out that I was right, guess what? What do you have to lose?
Right. And that's great for, those that are coming into the scene to hear this advice.
Yeah.
It really has good direction for them.
To see my wife, who went from a boat of resentment to used to always point out my flaws, to be able to look at herself, build a relationship with God, and have such a forgiveness to want to build our marriage back,
Mm-hmm.
and show me this woman that I never met in 25 years I was married to.
Wow, I can see your passion with that. Yeah.
When I see her, I see Jesus. There's no other way.
That's beautiful.
There's no other way to describe it. Really.
That's beautiful.
And I never thought that would ever happen. And if you told me a year and a half ago that her and I would mend things and we would get back together, I'd have told you there is no way possible, ever.
Wow.
Ever.
And how long has it been since you guys got over that and where you are now?
We got back together, pretty much put the divorce on hold a week before our court date. And that was December 7th, 24. And we're getting remarried in July.
Beautiful. Beautiful. I'm so happy you shared that story with everyone, because that's the power of love and choosing. It's very easy. Let's end it. Let's break up. It's done. This and that. And then guess what? You're back out there. And it's not like the next person's going to be.
People are not commodities.
Yeah.
And you have to look that other people have feelings too. Yours is not the only one involved.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I had to look at, she didn't walk away from me when I decided to say, hey, I'm done with this alcohol thing and I'm going to do something different.
Mm-hmm.
She stayed with me all the way through that. And then when I left, because she just didn't see, she was angry still.
Right, yeah.
And didn't see the stuff that I was trying to do. So when I was gone, she woke up one morning and said, oh no, he's never coming back through that door again. And he's always came back. He always came.
So what made you come back?
Went through a breakup that kicked my butt. Broke my heart.
Someone else?
Yeah, my best friend committed suicide. He was one of my sponsees. And they were our best friends, mine and my wife's. And my wife wouldn't go check on her. They didn't have anybody here. They're from Michigan. She wouldn't go check on her. Her dad had just passed. She pushed everybody away. So I went and checked on her. I hung out with her. She had seen the video footage of her husband killing himself. The security cameras. And I went to help her. She was my friend. And after about 2 months or so, 2.5 months, I was hanging out. Something happened between the two of us that was electrifying, magnifying. It was probably, I swear to you, is the best thing I was ever involved in that I felt.
That must be rough.
And I felt like
for your
when
wife
I look at it,
to know that.
It was rough. But what I felt that it was God showing me that I could love and it would be reciprocated. Okay?
It's not attached to a person, it's within you.
Right. And it can be reciprocated.
Mm-hmm.
If you're, and so something that my wife didn't do today, man.
You're blessed, Chazz. I'll tell you that. You're blessed.
So she had walked away from me a week before the holidays and being a recovering alcoholic. I was broken. I've never been so broken in my sobriety ever. Mm. And I called my wife because we were actually being cordial to see if I could come spend the holidays with my grandchildren and stuff, just so I could get through it. Because I was really in a very bad place. Yeah. Suicidal. Wanted to drink. Didn't want to die that way. So as I was there, about 3-4 weeks in, I was there. Just kept seeing this lady I'd never met before. She said, I don't want this divorce. She said, what can we do to fix it? I said, hold on. said, first of all, I don't deserve to come back to this house. I said, I actually had an affair. To be truthful, it was an affair, and not only an affair, but with your best friend. I said, during some pretty bad stuff, during the bad times, and there was vulnerability and whatever. I said, secondly, you don't deserve me to come back here because I'm in love with that other woman, and I don't know what to do about it.
Wow, I love how real Chazz is. This is wonderful.
So she looked me dead in my eye. She said, I'll help you through it.
Wow.
I didn't know what else to
Hmm.
say. I was like, I wanted to go, who are you? What did you do with that evil woman I was married to?
Wow.
I was scared she'd come back out, so I didn't ask.
Right. You were just appreciating the gratitude of what you were seeing before you.
Well, she felt the love of Jesus. She really did. And she sat and waited for him, and she sat still and listened to him. And he answered her prayers. When I thought he was answering mine, he really answered hers. And she's been our children weren't happy about it, But what people don't know is people don't come with instructions. Things change, things happen. The devil will do whatever he can to attack. He don't attack people individually until they're really married. That's the one thing he doesn't want, because now he's got two people fighting against him. That,
Well, that's why I talk about bringing the tribe, the families back together, because it's easier to attack you individually. But when you bring the female, the male, the children back together, now you have a family, it's harder.
Well, it's only by God's grace and His mercy that He, and that's what He wants. So I have to live in today, and the people that are in my life today, those are the people He wants in my life.
Right.
I have to be right here today in this moment.
So you went through the dark night of the soul.
Yeah, I've been through it all.
Yeah. So this is wonderful. Chazz is, telling a story about coming here with the dream and the passion of music in his veins and what he's been through, and actually a love story as well, which you didn't mean for that to happen. No. But I think that could really, I'm learning as well. And for those out there, instead of just giving up, and
fight. If there's something, if you love somebody, don't, just because there's you're going to see something bad in what we all have it.
Yeah.
Don't just throw them away.
Oh, thank you, Chazz, for sharing. That's so beautiful. I love that. And
it's an awesome story.
Yeah.
I don't think mine's that deep. But
you'll get there.
Yeah, Justin,
your life's just beginning, son.
Yeah, you're born in 93, so you got time.
Well, 92.
Oh, 92.
Yeah, but no, I have been married before, and I was married when I was in Florida. Went to college in Lakeland, Florida, and my then wife she wasn't really keen on the music idea. So
what were you doing for work?
I had just got out of college, and I was a claims adjuster at an insurance company.
So she was more comfortable with that.
She was looking for that 40-hour week man that comes home.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
And I was never like satisfied with that. I was doing music lessons at night. I remember I was falling asleep at red lights because I was so worn out. I was just working constantly, like from morning to night, and it wasn't good enough, and we ended up getting a divorce, and I got an opportunity to move to Nashville. So I'm from East Tennessee, but grew up like 6 years down there.
What was the opportunity that brought you here?
I recorded my first EP upon moving here, and I've recorded a single since then, and now fast forward to now, it's real shortened, but I've got an album coming out this year.
Nice.
Congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about it.
Did you record it?
Capital, you pay a penny a year for it.
No. We'll have to cut that out. No.
We don't edit these shows.
Oh, yeah, no edit. Well,
no, we just put a beginning and an outro.
All right, well, okay.
Did you record it over here?
No, actually, I'm going to be recording it pretty soon, and the release date hasn't been set yet. But yeah, I'll announce that on my socials.
And
Justin Walden Music.
yes.
Yep.
Chazz, where can they find you?
You can find me at number1music.com, Chazz Wesley, and Facebook. I'm on every digital download.
MySpace.
I'm on MySpace.
You still have a MySpace?
I haven't used it in years, but
I don't think I ever had a MySpace.
You know, hell, I grew up in the era when I played the original video game, Odyssey.
Yeah.
I don't even know that.
You know, then Atari came out.
Atari, I know that one.
Odyssey.
That one I know.
Odyssey was a computer, looked like a typewriter, but it was a computer box.
Oh, I think I've seen
And,
that. Yeah, in movies and
punch the
stuff.
name of the games, whatever. It's kind of I'm old, but I'm grateful.
Like
You know what? I'm
the
grateful that I
controller
got
with like the Switch or whatever.
I'm very grateful that I got to be old because it was a time that I didn't want to.
Right. And now you're blessed and grateful for every day.
And we have.
And you have every day you have something to look forward to.
I live an hour away from here. You know, when I came here, I wanted to live in Nashville. Nashville's not my Nashville anymore.
Right.
It's not the Nashville that I.
Well, I love the country. Like
Me too.
I
We
love.
got 3 acres and 52 acres around us.
Oh, that's so nice.
That won't be built on.
Yeah, it's God's
Yeah.
country.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It really is the greenery, the mountains, the waterfalls.
What?
Carthage, South Carthage.
Yeah,
I was gonna
maybe
get
do a
land
festival.
there. I was gonna get 15 acres of land there.
Our Carthage is
Right,
beautiful.
right by the little school, and there's like a tire gas station place right there on that creek.
Drake's Creek or whatever. No, but I know where you're talking about. Carthage is beautiful.
Yeah, it's really
It's
pretty.
peaceful.
Didn't Dolly buy land?
No, it's the home of Al Gore, though. I don't know if Dolly bought it.
Yeah, I heard she was going to when I was buying the land. I heard that, but yeah, I did hear Al Gore was raised there. And then Justin, tell everyone who you're going to be touring with.
This year, I'm going to be touring with John Michael Montgomery.
The legend.
Playing fiddle and guitar. Thank you.
So proud of you. That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So
You start when May?
That's
May, right?
End of May, yeah.
End of May.
Yeah.
one of my favorite singers in the 90s. That's what I came to play was 90s music. When I come here, it was Alan Jackson.
I love Alan Jackson.
John Michael Montgomery.
He released
Mark
his first album the year I was born.
Right. So that I came to town.
Well,
It's
that
been
was
33
was like
years, yeah.
Paul Sanders. So
Yeah.
like it's so interesting because like
Yeah.
you're young and like
Paul
Shenandoah
Sanders.
has been around for a while, so the same thing, you know?
Paul said he's one of the best guys on the planet.
Yeah, he's
His
great,
hair ain't
Paul.
much to talk about, but he's not bad.
And this is his hair. So it was funny. Yesterday, I'm eating with my friend at First Watch in Hermitage, and this guy in the corner looks just like Travis Tritt. I'm like, this guy looks like, and I'm like, ask my friend, I'm like, is Travis Tritt still alive? They're like, yeah. I really think this guy, you know. So he walks, and I'm like, you look just like Travis Tritt. He's like, thank you. He was like, well, I'm not, but I play for Shenandoah. I said, well, ain't that funny? I said, I just interviewed Paul on my podcast. He said, well, come to a show. I'm like, I actually am.
Good show.
Wow.
Yeah,
Marty's
yeah.
singing better than he ever has.
Yeah, so it was just like funny. So I am going to go to one of their shows. But yeah, Paul's great. So name some songs that everyone will know of John Michael Montgomery. So
Life's a Dance.
mhm,
The All for One song, I Swear.
mhm.
That was a big one for him. I think that was probably his biggest one.
Yeah. So those,
I
look
love
it up.
The Way You Love Me.
I Love the Way You Love Me was the big one.
Yeah.
Or I Can Love You Like That.
And then what I want clips of you guys performing so I could mix it into
Sure.
this video.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Any
too.
advice and obstacles that you have been through that you could tell others?
Well, to the young kids out there coming to Nashville, don't do it. No, I'm kidding. No, Nashville has been really, really great to me, and I feel like I've been able to network with people, and I don't think I meet a stranger either. You know, I like talk to everybody,
Yeah.
and like girlfriends that I've had, they're like, you talk to everybody. I'm like, well, yeah, that's kind of what you have
Yeah.
to do, especially. if
Well,
you're
it's
gonna
it's
make
not
it.
what you have
Yeah.
to do. It's just being kind.
And also, it's just around you, the energy.
Yeah,
You
it's
just
natural, you know.
you kind of
Like,
just bounce, and
I
then
don't
that's
need a
why I feel like
stranger.
we like. I don't know about you guys, but I definitely hibernate. Like Once I'm out there, I need to have my alone time, and that's why I need to like rebuild my energy.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
the best thing that anybody can do as far as musicians come to this town or singers is to build quality relationships with every musician, singer in this town, because you really do not never know who's out in front of you and who you are talking to a lot in this town.
Yeah, look what happened
that's
yesterday.
true.
So it's just a small town, and you always, and I always say this in my business and with my career, is you never want to burn a bridge. You always, if things are not aligning with you, it's not working out. There's somewhere I recently worked, and I said to myself, I cannot work here because the way they run business doesn't align with me. And it doesn't mean I'm going to burn a bridge. It just means, okay, this is great. And, we're going to part ways, but in a very respectful way, because you just don't want to burn a bridge here or anywhere, So any other advice as someone who is relatively young and you are pretty successful now at this point with what you're doing? What
He hung out with old timers.
Well, you do. I see you in the cigar shop hanging out with the old timers.
Well, yeah, and it's funny actually. Speaking of cigars, I'm a cigar smoker, and a lot of the opportunities that I've gotten here have come from just hanging out, smoking cigars. And
yeah.
The guy next to me, is a tour manager for this person or whatever, and then I remember like the first lounge I went to was Casa de Monte Cristo in the Gulch, and the GM gave me my first gig in Nashville playing at the cigar lounge. So I played like solo acoustic, and then he messaged me sometimes, and he's like, "Oh, I always remember that because like look at you now. This is him talking to me."
Yeah.
Back then, but
so that goes with what we just said, that you do have to converse, and because you never know who you're going to talk to. So there's a cigar shop right next door, and that's where.
When I came,
and then I smoke cigars sometimes too.
Yeah, you do. Oh, okay.
That's why I'm in there. I think I'm just in there to like.
Yeah, they said to invite you over, come over and smoke a cigar. So hopefully,
they used to have a cigar bar downtown on 2nd Avenue up on the top floor. They had a jam there I think it was every Tuesday or Thursday night. Brad Paisley and James Mitchell. And there's just, I think Brent Mason would come there, a bunch of them. And I believe one night it was like a 12-piece band at horns.
Oh, awesome.
Wow.
And Mr. Brad Paisley with a cigar and his Yoo-hoo chocolate milk. No kidding.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. That's really funny.
Super nice guy. Never met a nicer guy, and never would know he was as big as he is.
That's why I think it's beautiful with country musicians. I feel like everyone is relatively humble. Music City Bar and Grill. That's really where I met a lot of you guys, and so many people pop in there after they're performing at the Opry, or they park their tour bus right here. So. Daryl Worley, so nice.
He's a good guy too.
Man, he's tall.
He's really tall.
I'm like looking up at him.
Yeah, he's tall. I first moved here and we were on set together and we were talking, and like he's just an interesting, fun dude.
Really
and really nice.
Yeah. I think I was playing downtown Rippies and he come down and sat in with us because my guitar player at the time was Jeff Jarrett, and Jeff Jarrett played with Daryl for many years. I wrote when he did all his USO tours and across Iraq and everything.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I get the luxury of when I'm playing is to be able to play with all the legendary players that plays for so many people.
Yeah,
and that's a blessing because not everybody gets to do that.
Yeah. And I love having you guys come on. I feel like just being here, I opened this dance studio, and I'm not a singer or musician, but the dancer with you guys has been, it's been wonderful. And I love Nashville, and I love my friends that I meet in our stories and seeing them play and dancing to your music.
you know what the best thing about Nashville is? It's misfits from all over the world. They didn't
Yeah.
fit in anywhere else, but they come here. And it's like one big family.
Yeah.
And they all get
You're
together.
right. That's a
and
good
they
way to
all
put it.
treat. I mean, you weren't treated this way back where you come from.
Mhm.
You know, at least I wasn't. It's different. But here, you fit in no matter
Yeah.
what.
Like I knew in New York, I remember being in high school parties and sitting there and being like, I have to get out of here. And it wasn't because of anything, it just didn't feel like it aligned, you know? And then I took the chance and the risk coming here because I saw what my future looked like up north, and that scared me more knowing what it looked like than to take the chance of not knowing. And whenever I land back in Nashville, I'm just like, I'm home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the same with me. I moved to California one time in 2002, 3. I met my dad for the first time in 30 years.
Wow.
And we met him in December at a midnight mass at his church. And then we moved there in June.
Mm-hmm.
And from June to October, I've spent $7,000 in moving costs because they moved in June and moved back in October.
Oh.
It didn't at all.
But you tried.
Well, I did try.
That's all that matters.
And no matter where you go, wherever you go, there you are.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Well, same thing with Florida.
Right.
I did all that. I got hit by hurricanes. All that moving costs. Oof.
You know,
yeah, it's a lot.
Geographical change doesn't change who you are.
No.
And so my old self showed up. I had tried recovery at the time, and I got out there. When I met my dad, my stepmom wouldn't let me spend the time with him like I'd wanted to because they had a son. It was kind of different back then. And her and I she's the biggest reason why my marriage is working today. You know, she helped save it with my wife. So I'm very grateful for my mom in California.
Well, that's great.
But
that's good.
So for a long time, I wanted to beat my dad up, you know, because I'm like, what? You know, why'd you just leave me behind? Why'd you just not come get me all those years? You know. Mm-hmm. And so to find out my mom moved every time he'd find out where we were at. But in that 4 months time, when I couldn't hang out with him, I found myself some other honky tonks. I went to this place called Dan's Place, and the guy that owned the bar was actually Johnny Russell's brother.
Okay.
So I started playing in there, and then in my shop I worked at, they were in there doing some extracurricular activities one afternoon while we were all working on our vehicles. And lo and behold, the demon came back, and I went on about 15 years before I decided to give it up.
Wow.
Well,
that's some strength to finally make that choice to do it.
Well, I got tired of myself. Everybody else was already tired of me.
Yeah.
It took me to get tired of me.
Yeah.
So when I did, I was like, you know, this is my life, and what am I going to do?
Mm-hmm. And now, you know, you have all those stories and experience. You should write a book. And now you have this booking agency and love.
Oh, yeah.
And you're healthy. So it's beautiful. And Justin, you have your experiences here and playing on Broadway and now going on tour.
Justin, matter of fact, is actually a really great musician. And he's a great harmonizer.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Now, you can pay me for that later. But
I'll send you a check in the mail.
So we're gonna wrap this up. Anything else you want to say to everyone for them to find you? No little something, advice, anything to wrap this up.
JustinWaldenMusic.com for like tour dates, and I'm going to be doing some of my solo stuff as well this year. So be looking for that, and yeah.
Chazz Wesley at Chazz Wesley Music, gmail.com, and also on Facebook. But mine. Look, biggest thing I could tell anybody is be you and make a memory out of life. Just make some memories. You'll know which ones where it's going to lead you where you got to go. If you don't make any memories, and if you think life is always going to be great, you'll never know it. You'll never get to experience great.
Yep. Stay in alignment.
It really
Life's
is.
That was
it really is.
Good plug. All right, everyone. Thank you for joining my two. Justin, come in a little more so they could see you a little bit better.
Nope.
Show
Yeah,
that
I'm in
show
like
that
the-
pretty
yeah.
face.
Well, thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
thank you
It's been awesome.
guys. I love them, my friends here. So I'm going to put some clips of them performing. Wing and Wolf Podcast, your host, Elizabeth Mooney.